Hey y'all, we live up in this thing tonight. I'm excited. Give me a minute to share this to my main Facebook page, and then we can go, get started. I gotta let it show up here. But I hope y'all having a wonderful night. Share this with somebody that you know is dealing with how they see themselves, their image, self love, needing to know their worth. All right, let me share it. All right, now I just shared it to my page. So were you able to share it?
That's what I'm doing now.
Okay.
I'm sharing it as well.
Thank y'all for tuning in to the Self Love Journey Conversations with Shei Atkins. It's just somewhere where we can have dialogue and just encourage each other and inspire each other. This is my girl Tanisha Atkins, the special guest on tonight. We go back to when I was skinny. You know what I'm saying? We go
I'm
back.
not about to play with you.
She, she used to do the sound for me in my shows, and I've just seen her flourish and blossom to just be such a awesome person, an awesome teacher. She had a conference early this year, and I was a part of it, and she just has a lot to share with you all, and I just want us to have some dialogue. And y'all welcome to write any of y'all questions, and we'll answer them. But we're gonna go ahead and
Yes, I'm just sharing it in my group, and
yeah.
then I am ready.
All right. Okay, here we go.
Um,
All right now. Thank you, AJ, for tuning in. Oh, what I done did?
say what you over there doing?
Look, thank you,
Okay.
AJ, for tuning in. But anyway, Miss Tanisha, we're here to talk about self-love, self-care, confidence, because you're a confidence coach, a self-love advocate.
Yes.
Let's just talk about confidence for a little bit. Let's talk about confidence and why it's
Okay.
so important for us to have confidence, and how do you even get to that place where you're confident in who you are.
Absolutely. It's definitely, I always say confidence is definitely the game changer. Can you hear me okay? Is the volume okay?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. All right. I always say that confidence is the game changer because you can be good at something, you can be great at something, but if you lack the confidence to do it, you'll never really give it your all. You'll never, confidence kind of moves you in that direction of greatness into what you're supposed to be doing. And it just, you just have to be confident. Confident doesn't mean that you're perfect and that you
Yeah,
just, I know what I'm doing, but it's saying that I know that I possess the ability to get it done. What I don't know, I know I can pull on the resources. You just have to be sure of yourself and not doubt yourself, knowing that you're not perfect. You're going to miss it here and there, and being okay with that, saying, hey, this is a part of the process. You have to be confident and like trust the full process for your life and say, to yesterday, maybe I messed up. Maybe I didn't know yesterday, but I'm going to do what I need to do so that tomorrow I'm going to go back and say, this is what I should have done. Just being sure of, where it is you want to go and marking out steps and how you're going to get there. Just being confident that no matter what, I'm going to do it, I'm going to make it. So confidence is definitely the game changer. It can make or break you. If you have confidence or not, it can make or break you for sure.
yeah. So, how did confidence, and you being a confidence coach and putting on those conferences, what was it that sparked you? That being a part of your story. Why is that such a passion of yours?
Because I've seen so many people sit on the sidelines and they're so talented and they're so gifted and have all these amazing voices, but then they get up there and they're like, I'm so scared to sing in front of people. I'm so
Yeah.
scared to do this. And I'm like, the only thing you need to fix is your confidence. And it just
Yeah.
goes on back for me to time into finding my own confidence, finding the things that were natural for me to do and saying, hey, I'm really good at that. And giving myself permission to be good at that, to say, hey, I'm a pretty dope chick. I can
Yeah.
do this effortlessly. You know what I mean? So for me, I just saw so many women self sabotaging themselves, sitting on $1 million ideas. And I just wanted to be that voice of confirmation to say, you got this, girl. Go get it. You can do it. And that's what I try to be. That's a voice of confirmation for you to get that voice of doubt out when you self sabotage. I like to be on the other end and say, nope, shut it down. You can do it. So it was just I didn't see that a lot. And I just said, this is what women need. So that's what kind of drew me over here.
Yeah, I think that self love and confidence go hand in hand
Yeah, for
because
sure.
my self love, when my self love was at level zero, so was my confidence. I
Yes.
think I had to, start making deposits into myself and watering myself. I equate us as flowers, and we have to water ourselves. We have to even be in environments that water us. Us people,
Oh
things,
yeah.
the energies that we have around us can strip us of our confidence when we have negative people, in your atmosphere, in your
Mhm.
environment, in your energy, that can strip you of your confidence. So I think it's even important to have do I hear something? I think it's important to have the right people around you also.
Oh
Speaking like
yeah.
as well as yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. It definitely. When you take like an in-depth look at it, like a 3D look, you really see like how it's really like just a big puzzle. When it's like when the puzzle is out of order, the people are not in order that you should be hanging around. You're not in the right place you're supposed to be. The puzzle doesn't work because you're trying to move forward with all this negativity around you, with all the bad experiences from your childhood, all of the stuff that you can't get over because you have to position yourself right. You have to get around the right people. You got to get in the right atmosphere. Just like we talk about a plant, you talk about a plant or a flower. You have to
Yeah,
put that flower in the right soil so that it can grow. You have to give it the right nutrients, the right sunlight, all of that. They say if you
yeah,
keep a flower in a dark spot, I think I heard you say that. If you keep a flower or a plant in a dark spot, how it doesn't really grow. And it's just the same thing. Like you have to literally feed your confidence. Like you have to, and when you have a lot of people around you that's making you self doubt yourself and I grew up with just a few people or friends and stuff from school that always kind of made me self doubt things, second
yeah,
guess myself, and I became critical of myself, self conscious all the time. That's a
yeah,
very bad space to be in where you're always second guessing yourself. What if I'm wrong? You're gonna be wrong sometimes. So what?
yeah. That's
That's what
true.
I had to learn. You're gonna be wrong sometimes. Get over yourself, like my girl Deidre says. Shout out to Deidre. Get over yourself and move on. Like confidence is just everything. When you get the confidence right, then the self love, like you were talking about, and you're a self love advocate too. And I
Yeah,
love how you share your journey and all of the amazing things that you've gone through, and you're very open with your story, which I
I am.
love because women need that. I love how you talked about you were kind of doing some self destruct things. Can you talk to us about that? I mean, because we're having a conversation. Like, talk to us about when did you come to that point? Not to this myself, but when did you come to that point where you say, hey, I'm self sabotaging? What made you realize that?
You know, it had got so bad for me that I didn't even care that I was self sabotaging. And it started with just having a broken marriage. It started with, as I started healing years later, when I look back, that's when I learned that I was codependent and I relied on my titles. I relied on what I do. I didn't know who I was outside of being a wife, who I was outside of being the singer, the performer. And so when those things
Mhm.
crumbled, when I felt hopeless, it was like I gave up. I was
Mhm.
so hurt. I was so depressed. I was in a state of anxiety. And I say I don't care no more. And I
Yeah.
was an alcoholic. I became an alcoholic for 6 years, 6, 7 years straight. And it just took me self sabotaging, self destruction, being drunk enough, having enough hangovers, having enough situationships and entanglements that I got tired of the pain. I didn't want to handle my pain the way I
Mhm.
did when I felt like I was hopeless and there was nothing that I could do and I was mad at God. I say, no, that didn't work for you too well. That didn't work.
Mhm.
Hold on, cause see, gone on back. You know better than that. Gone on back to. She knows she wasn't supposed to come out that room, and she made me lose my train of thought.
Oh, joy.
Go back to the room for real. So well, I don't even know what I was saying.
But wait, but let me bring you back. Let me say this because one of the things that you said that stuck out, what you just said was like you went through this for 6 and 7 years.
Yeah,
I know that during some of those periods, during those times, I was around you during that time. I didn't even see that in you because I wanted to point out how sometimes women can go through those things and you don't even know it.
yeah. Well,
You know
I'm
what I
trying to
mean?
see. Well, yeah, you probably was around me or saw me when I was probably on the brink of getting ready to just throw in the towel because when I threw in the towel, I threw in the towel. I wasn't going to
Okay.
church no more. I was mad at God.
Okay.
I was out there in them streets. I didn't care if you saw me at the club. I didn't care if you saw me at the trail ride. I don't care
Mhm.
who see me because Shei Atkins is dead. It's over. I'm
Yeah.
worthless now. I'm worthless. My marriage is over.
Right.
My career is over. So hey, let's just turn up and self destruct and do my thing. But
Yeah.
that get old. You know,
Yeah.
after I had that last stab, the knife go through me. God know. He know how to bring you back to
Mhm.
him. If you
Yeah, he
tired
does.
of what you're going through and you tired of the pain, you tired of going down the wrong path, you tired of looking for love in all the wrong places, you tired of being codependent and
Mhm.
looking outside yourself for your value. I say, Lord, I'm willing to do the work. I'm willing to do
Yes.
whatever I got to do to come up out of this place. And I don't want to pick up that battle no more. I don't want to file for his compliments no more. I want to
Yeah.
heal for real. I want to heal for real, Lord. And if you
Yeah.
help me come up out of this, I surrender. I help others. I will show them how to love.
You do such a good job too with that, Shay, because I can tell like even when we did the confident woman experience, like I got a lot of feedback from the things that you shared on there, where how a lot of women were saying I realized that I needed to do affirmations. And that's the
Yeah,
thing that people have to realize is that this takes work. This is not just something hocus pocus. You have to be actively involved to have self love for yourself. And that doesn't mean you like looking in the mirror like, oh girl, I'm popping, what? All that's
yeah,
fine, but like really loving who you are and embracing like I'm good at this. I am a really dope chick over here. Or I love the way that I love people. I love that I'm thoughtful. You should love those things about yourself, you know?
yeah. That's right. And
I just
self
wanted to point
love,
that out.
for those watching that don't have self love, like I'm a life coach, and I coach on self love, getting over a breakup and healing. And a lot of people want to know what does self love look like. You never.
Yeah.
I'm just learning, in my mid 30s or whatever, how to just really have self love. I've been walking the journey for 2 years, but what it is you developing a healthy relationship with yourself, just the same way you would with somebody else. You get to know them. You get to know what they like, what they don't like, and you learning you because see how you been doing it ain't been healthy. You
Come
learning
on
what
now.
makes you happy. You're doing more of what makes you happy healthily. That's the key.
Yeah.
And sometimes you
Yeah,
don't
that's
know
it.
because you've been depending on
Mhm.
this pill or this substance or this bottle or this man or this woman for so long, you don't even know. So it's a journey of you trying different things, going to the beach. Like me, sitting by the water. I can sit by the water every day and never get tired. The little things
That's
that
good.
that how can you give yourself the same feeling that you think? that you can't get from, you know, you have to get from somebody else.
Mhm.
How can you give yourself that same feeling?
That is such a good point, Shay.
How can I give myself the same feeling I think that this man is giving me? Because that's the reason why I can't let him go. Is because he make me feel a certain way. I don't know how to do it. How can I make myself feel the way this woman make me feel, or this
Mhm.
alcohol make me escape? How can I give myself that same feeling? And you create a growth schedule.
That's
You create
fine.
a self love schedule, and you start making deposits because you in a
Yes.
negative right now. Your flower is has been withering. Your water is dried up. It's time you got to start watering yourself every day, and every day you get
Mhm.
stronger and you get stronger. That way you can have well-being and balance. You know,
Yes.
some days you might fall off. You might have to go harder
Mhm.
some days, but every day, never stop. The work
Right.
never stops.
It does, and it's a process, just like you said, like just putting those things in place. Because when you do start to love yourself, you start to realize that I can set a boundary here. Because I don't like to feel like this, and when I'm with this person, I feel like that. I need to create some boundaries. I can say no because even if they don't love me anymore, because people will flip the script on you, honey. When you don't do what when you don't do what they want you to do, they tend to shut you out and reject you. So you gotta be prepared for that. So you gotta go into self love mode and say, it's okay. You shut that door because I set a boundary, then I don't belong over there anymore. That's okay.
Yeah,
That rejection is gonna redirect me to where I'm supposed to be. So we gotta stop fearing rejection so much. You know,
yeah,
rejection can be a good asset for you. You know, if
that's
they're
true.
not letting you eat at that table, that says you don't belong there. Stop begging for a seat. Go find your own table. Go build your own table,
Come
or
on.
find where you belong. It's time. That is one of the biggest lessons that I've learned in life. Get up from the table when it's time to go. When the respect and all that stuff ain't on the table, that's a real thing. You
That's
got to get
true.
up. Stop sitting there waiting on crumbs trying to make them love you. Oh, I'm gonna
Yeah,
give you a good gift. Oh, I'm gonna
yeah,
do this. See, I'm a good person. I know I'm a good person. I don't need you to validate that for me. And that's what you got to get back and say. No, I'm not a perfect person, but I'm a good person. So,
that's true.
just want to point that out. Just want to say that. But yeah, self
That's
love
true.
is
That's true. You know, when whoever you with is when if it's hurting you more than it's helping you, that's when you
mm,
know it's time to let go. When you have to have the strength to walk away. That's self
yeah,
love, setting boundaries. You're right about that. That's a part of self love, self awareness, recognizing, not ignoring
mm,
the red flags. You
yes,
can't be scared to lose people.
yes,
That's not for you. See, sometimes we scared to lose them. We don't want to let them go, but the only reason that we scared to lose them is because we feel like that's where our happiness is coming from. That's
yes,
where our validation comes from. But
yes,
self love, that journey, once you start that journey, you're learning how to validate yourself. You're learning how to compliment yourself. You learn how to speak life into yourself. And in the beginning, you might not believe it, but just keep on speaking it. The same way you believe that
mm,
negativity about yourself, the same way the
right,
enemy, other people convince you that you are not who God says you are. The same energy, take the same mouth and speak life into yourself. No matter
yes.
who you are, where you are, what you've done, how much weight you didn't gain, how much weight you done lost. I am beautiful. I am enough.
Hmm.
I am enough. I am
Even
turning
if
the
you
page.
don't feel it, just like Shay said, like sometimes you don't feel it. I felt like the weakest of my life, and I remember just praying, and in my heart, I felt like look in the mirror and say I'm powerful, even though, and I was like, I feel like the most weakest, just emotionally weak, but I followed it, and every day I would say I am powerful, and it's like I kept saying it until one day it just hit me, and I was like, oh my God, I get it. I thought I was just looking in the mirror saying stuff, but I ain't comb my hair, I ain't put on no
Yeah,
makeup, I'm looking a ratchet mess, but I'm supposed to look in this mirror and say I'm powerful because you have to give birth to it. You got to speak it, just like when God created the world, He had to speak it, or it would have never
that's right.
came to be. So that's
That's
what you're
right.
doing. You learn to validate yourself. And say, I wanted you to talk about this because this is something that you shared before that helped me. You talked about when someone has hurt you and you have that negative emotion sitting on you. You talked about how to get that off of you by maybe. Can you kind of share a little bit of that? Like, was if somebody's hurt you or you've been hurt by a broken relationship, broken friend, and that is sitting right here? Can you kind of share a little bit about that?
I, but I might not say the same thing that I said that day.
That's okay.
As far as forgiveness,
Well, you talked about like releasing the emotion, like you're still sitting with it, and you have. Well, let me just tell you what you said.
hey, if I was under the influence of the Holy Spirit, what I say right now, it might not be that.
well, one of the things you said was that you can write it down. You can write it down to get that emotion off of you at that time. You can say, "Hey, I was hurt. I didn't, what you did to me was hurtful." Like to write it out, just kind of
Writing a
because
letter,
you.
writing a forgiveness letter.
Or even it wasn't really a
You know what
forgiveness
I'm
letter. You was writing a journal. You just was saying basically how to release that emotion, like that
I know I
emotion
talk
of
about
having.
journal. I know I talk about journaling in my
Mm,
book.
yeah.
Um, expressing whatever because you're teaching yourself that your feelings matter
Mhm.
when you journal. That's the whole purpose. You don't have to, but you can even do a video, just you and your phone, just getting that emotion out. But when you journal, no matter what how your day went, you write it down. Now, if you
Mhm.
talking about forgive, you can if you can write a forgiveness letter to somebody that hurt you, and rip it up
Mhm.
or burn it as a sign of letting it go. Those are little exercises that help you to heal and that help you to move forward. You can do
Mhm.
something every day. Each day, you're a little bit stronger. Each day, a little bit more of that scab will appear, and
Yeah.
then you'll be
It's
looking
really.
back.
I did it. I did it. That's. I just want to let you know that
Did
I
you?
did do that. I did because
Really?
I forgave the situation, but I realized that I still had some emotions sitting there because every time when you hear the name, it flushes again and it lets you know that there's still something there. So when you suggested, hey, do the forgiveness letter, it just helped me to get out everything that I should have said or whatever, or felt like
Yeah,
I didn't say in that moment. And then, like after I did it, like I was completely done with it. It was like
that's
I felt
good.
better. Yeah, I was like I just needed to. I didn't get a chance to say that, but I wrote it down, and then it was like it just was off of me. Like I felt better. Like okay, this is I felt like that's when the healing started for me. Like I got that out. It ain't sitting in there like burning to come out. I got it
Oh
out.
yeah, yeah.
You
It's
know.
important to get that energy out. That's energy, and if you it stays in you. I was talking in one of my videos yesterday saying that unforgiveness is just like the dirt on the air filter. It clogs
Mhm.
your heart, your spirit. It blocks love
Mhm.
from flowing out and it blocks love from flowing in. But each time you do that healing
Mhm.
work, each time you do that forgiveness prayer, forgiveness, yeah, exercise, that dirt on that filter is being removed, and love can flow clearer. Love can
Mhm.
be received clearer. That's what unforgiveness
Mhm.
is. It's a blocker.
Yeah, that's
Negative
right.
energy. It shows up in your body as ailments, anger,
Mhm.
suppressed emotions. It's important to get
Yeah,
it out.
that's
Get it
it.
out through the letter. Get it out through, you know,
Yeah,
I
and,
might
and, and also you have to do it for yourself. We talking
yeah,
about forgiveness, but sometimes you really have to forgive yourself. And I thought about that when we were preparing for this show
that's
today.
true.
That was really strong on me about just encouraging them to forgive yourself. You
Wow,
have to forgive yourself.
that
Whatever
is
it is you did, whatever it is you didn't do, whatever it is, wherever you are in life, you feel like I shouldn't be here. You have to forgive yourself because you're going to continue to sabotage yourself over and over again. You got to let yesterday go. You can't get yesterday back, but
you
you can
right.
work on. You can't. I don't know why I just thought about it. It was like forgiveness. Like I just felt like somebody did something. Maybe you haven't even told nobody you did it.
That's right.
Whatever it is. You know what I mean? You have to
That's true.
you have to forgive yourself. Because when you don't know, sometimes you do the best you can in that situation.
You right.
You were younger, maybe you didn't know that this probably wasn't the best route. So as
That's
you grow and you learn more, you do
yeah.
better. But you forget about it. You say, hey, I did that. I'm not that girl or that person anymore. I made that decision in that moment. Maybe it wasn't the best, but that's gone now. You have to forget. Don't let nobody else hold it over your head either. Whether it be a child, that's an adult that's saying, well, when we were kids, You weren't there for us. Well, baby, and for you, you did the best you could. You know, because some of these grown adults got that bad trying to tell their parents what they didn't do. I don't know. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
You alive. You breathing. You grown. Now set the tone for your own life. How you want your life to go. Don't do that to your mama. Even if she
yeah.
could have done better, just some people, wasn't raised to be trained, So,
Wow, that's a word. That's a word right there. Forgive yourself.
yeah.
And I was also thinking about making peace with, like, if you want to write a book, you want to share your story. Sometimes what holds us back is we don't have peace with it because we're afraid of what people are going to think about us when we share what I was doing, when I was cutting up, or when
Mhm.
I shared what happened to me. A lot of times what's holding you back is your fear of what they gonna think. And the reason why you fear what they're gonna think is because you haven't forgiven you still have a little bit of shame about it. But once you embrace
Mhm.
forgiving yourself and you embrace God's love and you know that you did it and now you're here to help others, make peace with it, then you'll be able to handle what people you won't be worried about what people think about you no more.
Yeah, that's
It
right.
took a long
Cause
time
no condemnation, right?
a long
Mhm.
time for me to share my story. I was walking in shame for a long time. Shame of how I thought people saw me. Shame of
Mhm.
just my life. But once I made peace
Mhm.
with it and say, you know what, I'm getting up. I'm not finna stay down. I'm gonna get up.
That's
It's a lot
right.
of. I'm not the only one going through this. I'm not the only person that have been through this. I ain't the only person who has struggled with a substance.
Mhm.
I ain't the only person that have been brokenhearted and made the wrong decisions and ended up in the arms of the wrong person. I'm not. I'm
That's
not the only
right.
person. So I'm gonna share my
That's
story and I'm
right.
gonna help build up whoever will listen, whoever God sent me to, whoever will turn their ear to me, I'm gonna speak life.
Mhm.
Let you know that you're not
That's
alone.
it.
You're
That's
not alone.
it.
Yeah, today, uh,
Mhm.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years ago, you would have caught me drunk somewhere. It's the grace of God because I forgave myself and I embrace God
Yeah.
and I say forgive what they think. So don't worry about
Yeah.
make peace with yourself so that you can do what God put in you to do.
Yes. Make peace with your past. That's it. That's it right there. Make peace.
Yeah,
And you came out on the other side there too, say, because I remember even before, like, like how you are now, like you're so different than how you were. Not that I'm different in a good way. Like you're more, you just seem more at peace. You seem more happy.
I
Like
am.
you just it's just a different from back when you were performing. Not that when you hit the stage, now you always tore it up, but
Yeah,
you
yeah,
just
yeah,
I can tell your heart is in a better place. You always just
yeah,
seem like you're smiling, and it seems to really come from the inside. I can tell that
yeah.
you've done some work. So that's good.
I had to. That's what I wanted to do. During that stressful time, I gained 40 pounds. What I'm gonna do? Talk down on myself, and I couldn't get it off. I was a personal trainer, so I knew what to do. So what I'm gonna do? Look down on myself and keep talking how ugly I am and how fat I am in the mirror? No,
Mhm.
I'm finna learn how to love this until I get to where I want to be, and I'm gonna
Yeah.
love me like I weigh what I want to weigh. I am
Yeah.
lovable. I am beautiful,
That's
and a lot of
right.
times,
That's right.
us ladies, sometimes make sure you're doing it for you. Because it's a
That's
man out there
good.
that will love you no matter what size you are. It's a man that will love you no matter what size you are. But you have to make sure that you're doing it for the right reason. You're doing it to love on you and
Mhm.
you're doing it to take care of you. I think that's real important to not just
Mhm.
do it because you think that some man will love you or some man, no, do it for you so they can be pure, so they
Mhm.
can be real, so that you won't have to
Yeah.
depend on the validation of a man. Because I have more
Yeah.
confidence now than I did then because I learned how to love me for real. I wasn't I don't depend on people's validation like I did
Yeah.
when I was smaller.
Mhm. That's good. That's good.
Trim up a little bit, but I'm still not depending on you to love me. I'm not depending on you
Mhm.
to love me for me to feel like I'm somebody, to feel like I'm enough. Learn how to
Mhm.
know that you are enough right where you are. Don't wait
That's
to start
right.
celebrating yourself, your beauty. Don't wait till you have to lose 50 pounds just to feel like you're beautiful. You're beautiful now.
Mhm. And
And
that
trust
improves
me,
your
I say it's got
relationships
nothing to do with a
overall
man,
too.
because it's a man to love you just like that.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I was just saying. Like that. Like loving yourself will improve your overall relationship. Because when you go in a relationship, you're not insecure about things because you know, hey, no matter what, this man, this woman can trip out tomorrow. You can take all your stuff and walk out of here, but what you won't take is this self love right here. So it improves your relationship when you work on yourself first to get yourself together to a healthy place. And it helps you to also look out for those red flags because you're not ignoring those signs just because you want to be loved. Because you
You
came
speaking the
into this
word.
situation, you came into this situation with love already. And so if it can push come to shove and I got to leave out of here, then I'm gonna leave out of here with the same love I came.
Somebody finna
You
get a
gotta
whooping. That's all
protect
I
that.
know.
Don't do my little cousin Jordan. But you gotta protect that. You have to protect your heart. You have to guard it and you stop letting just anybody get in there. You can't do that. That thing is real about guarding it. When you see they by some foolishness, you gotta say, oh, wait a minute. You messing with my self peace, my self love. This ain't feeling right here. And don't keep rolling past that. Because if you let them get in right there, then it's gonna go deeper and deeper and deeper. You got to say, oh, wait a minute. I'm feeling like you making me feel like I don't love myself, so I'm going out. You gotta watch for that in a relationship and not just be so, oh, he loved me or she loved me and she told that's fine. That's fine. All that's wonderful, but you still have to, just make sure you guard your heart and that your self love is still there.
That's true, and we'll put up with more than what we have to
So yeah.
when we looking to for a man to validate us. The
Yeah.
most beautiful women get cheated on. The most
Yeah.
flattest stomach, biggest buttest women get cheated on. So it don't have nothing to do with it. That's why I say love yourself, and then that way you'll be able to let go. You'll be able to walk away because you know that your value is in who you are, not
Mhm.
in who he thinks you are or who he says you are.
Yeah.
Your value is in who God says you are.
Yeah,
That's
that's
what
right. And then when you really get to know yourself, like Shay was saying, when you really take time to really just discover how amazing you are and the gifts you have, and you explore those things, why you think the way you think, why you make the decisions that you make. Why is this your favorite color? Like, why is this? When you really get to know why am I attracted to this type of thing, that is such a beautiful thing to really know yourself. It's
that's
just
right.
it's an amazing feeling, and it opens you up to a whole new world. You discover your $1 million business is somewhere in there, somewhere in discovering who you are, something that you do naturally. You don't even know it. Maybe you got a good personality, like the way God crafted us and orchestrated us, everything about us. Like
Come
if
on.
you got a good personality, you're good with people, you're a good thinker. He gave you all that for a reason. And we can't let people strip us of that or make us think we bad people because we are passionate. You just so
Yeah.
passionate. People will critique the confidence right out of you, man.
Yeah.
They'll take that from you. Here you are thinking, I'm passionate about everything, and all it takes is one comment from somebody say, you just over passionate about everything. So now we second guessing that thing like it's a bad thing. You gotta be
Yeah.
very careful of that, man.
That's right.
Very careful. I've been told you're super critical. I'm not super critical. I just have an eye, so I know what I want. I have
Wow.
that eye. I know when it's wrong,
Come
it's
on.
wrong. But I've been told over and over that I'm super critical made me shut up for a long time, knowing
Wow.
that something wasn't right. But I went with it because I'm super critical is what I'm so. I'm not super critical, but I'm very protective about what I put out under my name and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I have that right. But
Yeah, you do.
being told that made me feel like, well, maybe I shouldn't say nothing. Here I am second guessing again.
Yeah, right, right, right. But
It's
don't
just
you have something going on right now, some kind of a school or conference or something going on for women with confidence or something like that?
I do. I actually have a mentorship program that I just started. It's a 12-week mentorship program, and it's called the Confident Girls Club. It's for women 18 and older. And we just in week 2, and
Hmm.
what we talk about personal development, confidence, um, just what else do we talk about in there? Personal development, confidence, relationships, how to relate with people, all those things, and just really getting to know who you are. We talk about because it's a Christian group, so we go in the Bible and we look at everything of how God made us and who we are and how He sees us. But not everybody knows that. Some people's mind is programmed differently. So I'm just
Yeah,
really trying to reprogram their minds to get back to who am I? Who am I? It's okay to be me. Validating yourself and
that's,
loving yourself and all that. So yeah, that's what I got going. This is 12-week mentorship program. It's my first class and so far it's going pretty good.
that's good. Is it too late to
It's
get in?
not too late because we just this is just the second week. So the first class we just did introduction. So the class is on Sunday nights at 8 p.m. So if anybody would like to get in, they would just need to inbox me between today and tomorrow and ask. Now the class is it's $25 a month. So that's 3 months. So it's $25 a month. Or you can
That's
pay up
good.
front if you want to pay up front. A one-time fee is $60, and that comes with your supplies and all of that I mail you out. And yeah, the first class was amazing. I already had women to come and was like, you're already making me think about when did I lose my confidence? Because that was one of the questions I asked them. Who took your confidence? Where is it? Because when you're born, you're not born, babies come in the world like, hey, I'm ready, let me out of
Yeah,
here. They confident when it's their time to come. So you're not born insecure. So we go back and we talked about where did the insecurity come from? Who said
yeah,
something? As a child, did a relative say or do something? So it's really
wow.
transforming their minds to say, okay, yeah, I remember when they said that. And
Yeah,
to
that's
know that there wasn't okay for them to do me like that. That's the
yeah,
thing. Like, it was not okay. Because sometimes when you're younger, you may say, well, maybe I shouldn't have did this or I shouldn't have.
yeah,
No, they violated you.
yeah.
Period. And so it's the first class, like I said, was just a little introduction. But even
That's
with the first
powerful right
class,
there.
it
Life
was
change.
they were like, we are so ready. Like, who did it? Because once you find out, oh, that was the comment that made me lose my confidence. And this is what I should have said in that moment, or this is how I should have reacted. I'm excited about it. It's been really, like I said, we only play in 1 week, but even with the first one and just looking at the outlines, it's going to be a great class. So, but just inbox me if you're interested between today and tomorrow, and we'll get you the information you
That's powerful.
need.
That's real.
Yeah.
What about self care? What's some things that you do for self care?
Whew, self care. Let me tell you. One of the things. Let me say this about self care. If we as a society can get this, we will solve the self care problem. Self care has to be scheduled and not stolen moments. You
Come on
cannot wait on stolen moments for self care. You have to plan it just like you plan your day. You have to make time for yourself. So one of the things I do, I love music. I'm a songwriter. That's me taking care of me. That's me shutting out everybody, getting my headphones, and getting in my space where nothing else in that moment. It's just me and my headphones. That's me because it helps my soul to write because I
now.
love that. And I started, one thing I started doing too was I ordered all these candles from Bath and Body Works and all the
Oh,
aromatherapy,
Lord, on that.
all the aromatherapy, and I stopped taking so many quick showers and started scheduling candlelit bubble baths
Come
while I
on
get my Alexa with my music and my candles and just relax. It was just a whole different vibe. So things like that, I do things like that for
now.
my
Yeah,
self care.
that's
So.
good. I like to go get a pedicure, of course. Massages. I love massages. Just
Mhm.
time to relax. Like I said earlier, sit by the water, go to the spa, or
Mhm.
sit at the beach and sit in the chair, and you got me. It don't really take much, to make me happy. I don't have
Mhm.
to go to Hawaii. I don't have to do, big. It's some
Mhm.
that feed my soul as well as music,
Yeah.
my favorite song, or watching my favorite movie. Just little things.
Yeah. And doing it because you're deserving of it. Sometimes we wait on so many people. We have to be mothers and now teachers and employees and employers and chefs at home and then wives and then go buy the school clothes and sometimes you be so many things for so many people. But you have to remember that you got to be somebody for you. So you have to stop and refuel, and you can't just be like, pulling, pulling, pulling. Having a schedule, those types of things help. Even with the kids, like having a schedule, y'all, my sister has this thing now. She puts her kids in the bed at 8 o'clock. She feels like she's won a Nobel Peace Prize because she's like, I should have been did this. 8 o'clock, they in the bed. The rest of the night, that's hers. So you
Yeah.
have to find a
Yeah.
method and not feel guilty about it.
Yeah. Come on now. You
Sit
speaking
on
today.
the bed. Sit on
That's a
the
word.
bed and don't feel guilty. Like, I'm such a bad mom, honey. Put them kids in the bed. Get you a book. Whatever you gonna do, get you a glass of wine. If you
Yeah.
just wanna sit there and look at the wall in peace and quiet, that's okay. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, giving yourself permission to not feel like if I'm not doing something every moment of the day, I'm a bad mom. You
Yeah.
gotta
Yeah.
let that go. You got to let all this comparison. I don't care what Jenny Sue over there doing or Becky Sue. Good for
Yeah.
y'all, honey. Maybe she don't work. Maybe she at home baking sandwiches all
Yeah.
day. That ain't your story, okay? You got to
Yeah.
go to work, so the kids might get sandwiches tonight. Y'all gonna eat the sandwich. You see, you just got to really kind of be free to
That's
do
a
it
word.
our way. That's that confidence factor. You gotta
Yeah.
be free to say, this what works for me and my family. I'm cooking 2 nights a week. The 2 other nights y'all gonna be leftovers. And on Friday, everybody getting a pizza. That works for your household, then you do that.
That's
So
a word right
just
there.
being free. You gotta be free, man.
You
You
speaking the word.
know,
Time
you
for
just got to be free, girl. You just
I'm
do.
loving, I'm loving, I'm
Well,
loving.
tell us about your books now, because you got some books that you just on the roll with these amazing books. So tell us about your project.
I just relate. Well, I done since Chadwick Boseman died. I done released three ebooks. They're not that long, but it's some good information in it. The first one was a self love toolbox because self love is a journey, and you got to have certain tools in order to make it in life.
Mm-hmm.
Tools in your that you can pull out with information that you've learned to get through this storm, to get when you get lost, when you can't hear God anymore, when you need to get back
Mm-hmm.
connected to your source. All these
Mm-hmm.
things that you need to have in your self love toolbox. So I released that because Chadwick Boseman say he giving God everything. He want when he leave here that he done gave God everything. And I say, you know what? If God took me right now, I got books sitting up in my computer that just need to I need to edit just a little bit, and it can be out information that people can be, using for their life. And I got it sitting in my computer.
Mm-hmm.
Procrastination. So
Wow.
I released that. Then I released how I overcame my addiction to alcohol. So if you
Mm-hmm.
struggle with any kind of addiction, whether it be to a person or a
Mm-hmm.
substance or whatever, this is what I did. And it might be something in it that you can look at and say, okay, I can take a couple of tools out
Mm-hmm.
there, help me overcome what I'm going through, how to break this addiction that I have because it's possible. And then I just released From Heartbreak to Healing, 7 ways to get over
Mm-hmm.
a breakup. Because
I love it.
7 ways to get over a breakup. If you're going through and you hurting and you having withdrawals from that person, I got some things that you can do to get your life back on track and to heal.
Hmm. And you
So,
know what, Shay? It takes a confident woman to do that because, I can imagine this is how society is. They'll see you release those things, and for some people that may know your personal story, because
yeah,
this is what people do. This is how they sabotage us. Well, how you gonna write a book about A, B, C, and D? And see,
yeah,
for a long time, I let that stop me. You know what I tell them now when they say, "How you gonna mentor somebody?" I tell them,
yeah,
watch me, and I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna do it. Then you
yeah.
gotta have that confidence, like
That's true.
not letting people tell you that you're not qualified to do stuff. Because
That's
who more better qualified to teach somebody something than somebody that done went through something and came out on the other side. I don't care
yeah,
what you say about who ain't qualified. Because
yeah.
trust me, I hear the chitter chatter, and that's all it is in my book, chitter chatter, and I do not care not one bit because my voice matters. My voice is for somebody,
Yeah,
and for the right people, they will respond to it and get what they need. Now, I'm not for everybody, and everybody not for me, and that's
that's
totally
right.
okay. You know what I
But you
mean?
know what? A lot
But
of times it's hard for people to accept your story when they haven't accepted their own story. That's
oh
a lot of
wow.
times. I always talk about how um Your relationship with others is a reflection of the relationship you have with yourself.
That's
How you see
good.
others has a lot to do with what's going on the inside of you. It has nothing to do with you. So, however
Mhm.
somebody feels about who's not qualified, that's that ain't got nothing to do with me. How you see me,
Nothing.
it's about what matters is how I see me. What
There you
matters is
go.
that I'm obedient to what God told me to do. That's what matters.
That's
How you
right.
see me
That's right.
ain't gonna. It ain't what that's gonna do. It's just gonna
That's
block you
right.
because you're looking at the world with dark shades on. Lighten up,
Yes.
lighten up. Learn how to love people. Learn how to give grace. Learn how to have compassion. When you can't give,
Yes.
you don't have it. You can't have. You can't give what you
That's
don't have.
it. Can't get what you don't have. And
Can't give.
somebody will pick up those books that you wrote. Somebody who may have just gotten out of a bad breakup and feel like they about to break, and all of a
Yeah,
sudden God will cause them to stumble up on that book, and
come on.
you done just saved the life. That's the story that we don't see behind the self doubt. It's
Yeah,
the who needs it. Who, if it's in you, then somebody needs it, regardless
yeah,
of what the world thinks. Somebody needs this. So I'm gonna put it out here. If I'm like God, if it only bless one person, I'm cool with that. If that saves your life, if that changed your life, if that transforms your life, then I've done my job and I can move on, do whatever. So just stop self sabotaging. If anybody out there sitting on projects, stop self sabotaging. Do it. Don't wait about it. Even if you say, I don't really know what I'm doing, just take one step at a time and just listen to yourself and you'll get it. You'll stumble up on something absolutely amazing. You'll have 4 books out like Shay got right
yeah, and that's true. And
now.
I know it's real because it's people. People don't know I'm watching their videos every day. They put it
Mhm.
out there. They shared their gift with YouTube and whatever. They don't know who. They don't know I'm watching, listening to their song every day, worshiping
Mhm.
God. They don't know that their story is what got me going. And so that's how I
Mhm.
see it. You just never know. When
Yeah.
you obedient,
It's right.
God will send who needs to hear it.
Yes, he will. And just don't be afraid. And just say, hey, if I write it and 2 people buy it, then sometimes we just get preoccupied with all the questions, the what if.
Yeah,
You have to just take a chance because what if will keep you sitting in the stands. And you got to just go for it. And if you mess up, you look back and say, oh, I see what I didn't do. Let me just correct it. Because that's all it is. You're just growing and correcting as you go and looking back and say, I could have done this a little different. Okay, I'm gonna make the adjustment and move on. But if you sit
yeah,
there and just, I should have done this. Oh, I'm just a failure. It's all about mindset. Your mind, your program mind says I'm a failure. Then you need to sit down and work on this because everything you do, every time you miss a little step, you're gonna be like, see, I shouldn't have never even. You got a whole set of issues, and you need to do what Shay say. Get you some affirmations, which she preaches about all the time. That really works, and just start speaking of yourself. I'm a winner and stuff like that. So.
yeah. And I want to open up the floor. If anybody have any questions is watching, I'm gonna open up the
Yeah.
floor to that. But while I'm waiting, if I don't see no questions, we're gonna get ready to end it. But I do want to say this, you know, God is real, and God lives on the inside of us. God
Mhm.
created us with a purpose. You were an idea in God's mind. God shaped and formed you. You are here right now for a reason. But the thing about it is, you will never be no more than how you see yourself to be. No matter how much God is on the inside of you, no matter what He has called you to, if you don't see your value, if you don't know your worth, you're going to stay where you are. You got to see yourself less. You got to train your mind to believe that you are who God says you are. Speak life into yourself. God is He waiting on you. You're not
Mhm.
waiting on Him because He waiting on you. When you do the work, things happen. When you make moves, doors open. God
Mhm.
waiting on you. Come on with your
That's
confidence.
right.
Come on with your relationship with yourself. Come on, build yourself up. Can't nobody do it. Can't nobody do the work for you. You got to do it for you. Nobody can't make you love yourself. You got to do it. You got to put in the work. You got to put in the prayer. You got to put in the time to read those books. The time to pray and do your affirmations. That's on you to put
That's
that
fine.
knowledge,
That's
that new
fine.
knowledge into you. So
Absolutely, you're speaking the truth. You are absolutely speaking the truth. It's gonna take some work, and that's just what it is. But just willing to put in that work and take that one step at a time. You can totally transform your life no matter what you did yesterday or the day before. You just ask yourself, where am I and where do I want to go and what is it going to take for me to get there? And that's it. And you like to do what the Bible saying, mark out a path for your feet, and say, this is the first step I'm going to take. Even if you don't know step five, just say the first step I'm going to take is I'm going to go buy a journal. And that could be step one.
Yeah. Well, I think we had a good conversation. I think it was some good little
We
jewels and
did.
nuggets. Um,
We did.
if don't
I
nobody have no
enjoyed it.
questions, y'all holler at Miss Tanisha. DM her here in her inbox if you want to do her conference, her 12-week
Mentorship program.
tour on
Hmm.
confidence and just learn how to step out and be who God calls you to be. Hit her up. It's only in week 2. If you need a life coach, if you need help getting through a breakup, if you need help loving yourself, knowing what to do, how to let go, how to heal from a divorce or breakup, hit me up.
That's right.
So
And that can be step one. That can be your step one to say, just DM Shay and say, I need help. And, sometimes you just got to say that. Send out an SOS, say, help me. I feel
yeah,
like I'm drowning. Just
yeah,
admitting that you need help could be your step one. And then your step two, just reach out and say, just help me. And
get a
just
whooping.
put in the work.
Somebody gonna get a whooping. I've been trying
Please
to focus
don't
hard.
boy.
I've been trying so hard to focus, and she on the side twirling, dance. She know what she doing.
Oh. Well, thank you
Anyway,
for having me on tonight, Shay. It was a great topic. I appreciate. I love what you're doing with the self love journey to freedom. It's a beautiful thing. Keep going. Keep having guests on. Keep inspiring people, and keep shining. And I love the glow that you have now. And I've always been a fan of yours. I love all your music. And just I've always been Team Shay, and just can't wait to see what new doors God is going to open for you and different platforms that we'll share as we go on in our journey. So I'm very excited about that.
and let me say this: if you have a story that you want to share, you don't have to be perfect. For you to have a conversation with me on here, on this platform, you don't have to be perfect. But if you have a story that you want to share and how you got to where you are in your self love journey, or if you need to get further in your self love journey and you struggling, whatever, hit me up, Shei Atkins at gmail.com if you want to be a part of it, and we'll take it from there. Because I believe that people need to know that it's people from our walks of life going through something, and they just need
Right.
to hear you can
That's
make it.
it.
So
Be a voice of hope and a voice of change. So y'all, and that's why you don't have to be perfect because nobody will be on the other side of this panel if it was all about perfection, honey. So it's not about that. Y'all come on the show. Well, she's had some amazing guests on. So like she said, with all kind of different stories, and it has been good. So who's next to hop in the seat? Go ahead and DM Shea Atkins and say I got
yeah,
next,
because
and she's gonna be ready.
it's kind of like working out. You stop working out, you stop eating right. What you gonna do? You gonna gain the weight back, and it's just like self love and loving yourself. And you stop doing the work. It don't take but one mistake, two mistakes, three mistakes, and you back where you was. It don't a little slacking off of your affirmations, a little slacking off of your prayer time, and I'll be
Hmm.
right back where I was. So the work never stops.
Which is why a good life coach is good because a life coach will help you to stay on track to
Oh
where
yeah,
you're supposed to
yeah.
be. So that's good.
All
That's
right, now.
good.
So thank you for hollering at me and talking with me tonight. I appreciate you sharing.
Anytime, anytime,
All right, y'all. We're
anytime.
gonna get on up out of here.
All right,
Thank
thank
y'all
you,
for
Shay.
tuning in. God bless y'all.